everybody ready?
Oh, ready.
Everybody excited?
Super.
Okay, I don't know how to do a clap for this one. This is new. Let's do a that works. Hello everyone, welcome once again to Editing Academy. I'm Darryl.
I'm Laura.
And for the visual people, you can tell that there's a third person here. Marissa, say hello.
Hello.
All right, we're doing something new this time because we finished our top 20 list. So we thought we'd kind of dive into some more contemporary films, maybe pick up some people due to the algorithm, but also we wanted to talk about more contemporary films as well. So the film we chose this time was Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. We're both excited about that. I'll give you some quick facts and then we'll dive in as long as I can find where my stuff is. There we go. Frankenstein came out in 2025, just recently. Produced, written, and directed by Guillermo del Toro, based on the 1818 novel by Mary Shelley. The film stars Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, Christopher Waltz, a couple other people, but those are the big ones. It was released in October. It made its debut at the Venice Film Festival. Already won a ton of festival awards. Obviously, the big ones haven't happened yet. A couple real quick things, because this is a passion project by Guillermo that he's put off for over 25 years. He's always wanted to make it, but was scared to because he said, once you've done it, that's it. It's over and done, and I can't dream about it anymore. And he started back in 2009 when he read what he called the pretty much perfect script for Kenneth Branagh's version, which was written by Frank Darabont. It was at one point going to be part of the Universal Dark series, like The Mummy and all those that they had planned. But the first two in that series bombed so dramatically they just scrapped the whole thing. So it's been put on the shelf a bunch. There we go. Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro. I'll start by saying I was super excited to see this movie. Frankenstein was one of my favorite novels that I read. For a long time in college, I thought about getting a master's in Gothic stories, Gothic horror, so this would be right up in that particular alley, so I was super excited to watch this. And I'm going to start out kind of heavy with it. I think this movie is one that benefits if you've read the novel.
Okay.
It's not playing so much with the story of Frankenstein, which at this point, everybody kind of knows the story. But it is pretty adherent to the books and the motivations and the point of view switching of characters, which I think if you've read it, you pick up a lot of the nuance of things that doesn't necessarily translate if you haven't. That's where I'm going to start.
And we found that in a couple of other movies, like The Hours and different things, that it's better to have read the book. I've never read the book. I've seen various iterations of Frankenstein, including Kenneth Branagh, and I just, like, my overall thoughts are, I just really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was incredibly well done. Interesting that I thought the production values were kind of crap. The CGI was kind of crap. The wolves eating the sheep was just like, I could have drawn that on a like poster board a little bit better. So like, I did not care for a lot of the production values, which is surprising with Del Toro. But that said, I loved the story. I thought it was really interesting the way it kind of carried on, and I thought the main two performances were excellent.
One of the things that Guillermo does incredibly well is the visuals of something. And I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think, I thought he was up to par with his visuals. There are scenes in there where the color scheme alone is just stunning to actually watch. Mia Goth's character, when she's in like red and like coming down, like he knows how to set a color palette. Unfortunately, I think some of his direction in this movie was he'd been thinking about how the movie looks for so long, not necessarily how as well to tell the story. But that's me. Your initial thoughts?
I loved it. I have not read the book either. And the visuals were just unbelievable.
Do you think, so we both loved it and didn't read the book, and you read the book and think that it missed some stuff. Do you think that in reading the book it actually detracted from the movie for you?
It probably, because I'd heard that this was going to be a pretty, and it's been like 20 years since I read the book, so I'm obviously misremembering some things. But I had heard that it was going to be a pretty straightforward adaptation. And I didn't get that feel. I got that he was playing more with the story that we know and telling his version of it, which was fine. And I think all of that was executed well, the story that he wanted to tell, particularly with the switching of the characters and then getting the other motivation. I did have some trouble with just the setup and how he handled it of like, oh, I'm on this boat now, let me tell you my story. And then the creature shows up and is like, well, if he's telling his story, I'm going to tell my story. Like just that as a setup was a little difficult to swallow.
Can we talk about the two different parts?
Yeah.
Because so when it switched from the first story and then the monster shows up and he speaks in a full sentence of, let me tell you my story, I literally gasped. I was like, oh, he speaks. And so then they said, you know, like the monster story, whatever they said, you know, part 2. And I'm like, oh God, are they going to go back to the beginning and show me the whole thing through his eyes? And they didn't. And I was so happy that they took it as, and now you can see what happened to him after that point. So if the fact it wasn't Groundhog Day and they showed me the same thing from 2 different views, I was so excited about. But I was shocked when he spoke. Were you guys?
No, I wasn't.
I don't know.
It got me.
One of the things that I didn't like the handling of, and it is from my memory pretty accurate, is the creature's very vengeful going after him.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
all of these people are dying in his quest to get to Victor. But when he shows up and starts to tell his story, he just relaxes into like the attention and now I'm going to tell my story. Like that vengeful part switches over to be far more subtle as you need to understand my motivation for why I'm doing all of the things that you just watched me do. And I don't know, honestly it's a coin flip for me. I don't know if that works or doesn't work. What do you guys think? Does that work or not? Because it is a shift.
It was a shift for me. I didn't mind it. The vengeful piece, I didn't mind it.
Okay. What did you think?
Um,
Because he's like on this massive killing rampage, and then once he gets in and learns that Victor has been blabbing about what he's been doing and his motivations, he then feels the need to tell his side of the story. Inherent to the book, absolutely. But it is a shift from being like this rage monster to suddenly, I now speak in full sentences and I'm going to give you all of my motivation.
Yeah.
It is a shift in the tone of it for a little bit. Not sure?
I'm not sure. I watched it over several days. So.
It's okay. Yep, it did not bother me. But yes, you're right. It was definitely a tonal shift.
And I got it because the story itself does tell the full motivations of people doing their actions from multiple points of view. Like the actual story has more than just the 2 of them, but they are the principals. So I got that aspect, but I don't know, there's something about it that just, that transition didn't work for me as well.
Okay, fair.
And I'm not saying it should have been straightforward, like getting the creature's backstory, having him tell his story was an important component to get to the end. But I don't know, there's just something about it that didn't quite work for me.
I saw it as part of the vengeance, as part of the, yes, he comes in kind of as a killing machine, and then he gets there and he finds Victor, and Victor has told his story, and I think he's ultimately planning to kill him.
Yep.
But it's more of a, you know, I'm willing to wait a minute because I want these people to understand why I'm doing this.
Which is a truly human thing to do.
Which is a truly human thing to do, which again, I think we learned how much humanity he gathered when he was the spirit of the forest, when he was with the blind family member.
Yeah. That definitely does highlight that he was learning more of his human side. He was learning humanity, how to care. Still became a rage monster, but learned how to care.
Yeah.
And again, an important part.
But I think not only was he a rage monster, but he had a reason to be because Victor was a terrible, terrible person, which I wrote down here. So any thoughts on Victor as a terrible, terrible person?
This Oscar Isaac was so good.
He was.
His performance was
Oh,
amazing,
gosh.
for sure.
Yeah. Nope, his performance was
fascinating
amazing.
to watch.
But was Llewellyn Davis maybe the first time, inside Llewellyn Davis I think is the first time I saw him.
That's
And
the
I was
first time
like,
I
who
recognized him.
is that dude? Because he really acts the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The performances overall, Mia Goth has always played kind of strange characters
Yeah.
anyway, so I think she did a above average job, but I would like to see her play something besides like this kind of more aloof, mysterious kind of creature thing, because she plays that a lot.
I did not like her character, but I thought she played it well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Her character, I would have changed parts of her character, but
Yeah.
her performance was right up the alley
Yes.
of what she's been doing all along.
Yeah,
And Christopher Waltz is just always amazing.
he's great. But I think you were talking about the colors and
Oh,
yeah, like and especially with what she was wearing, like her wardrobe was amazing and added so much to it.
The colors
With the
of
black
his
and the white.
face too. That
Oh yeah, yeah. Like you have like a
Really
blue and
yes.
an off white. Yeah.
it transitions so many times.
Mhm.
There were quite a few scenes where you saw red balanced against green,
Mhm.
which I thought was an interesting choice because typically red would be something that you would stick out so much and put it against a darker background or an entire white background to make it pop. But to have the red and the green, like in particular the scene, the really bloody, messy scene where he's putting all the body parts together and he's just dragging them across the floor and there's blood. The lighting in back is all like back green lit,
Yeah.
as contrasted with all of this red from the blood. I was like, that is interesting. Again, Guillermo, having thought about this for so long, I knew exactly the template that he wanted, and that part he pulled off beautifully to me.
Yep. I completely agree.
You had said something, you had a great quote, and I almost wrote it down, but you had said it was horribly beautiful or disturbingly beautiful.
Beautifully gross.
Beautifully gross, that
That's
was it.
absolutely true.
That
Yes.
was it.
It was because it was so much blood and body parts.
Ripping of flesh.
Yeah. Which is not usually something I enjoy
No.
in a movie. Like
No.
I don't like a lot of body horror
But
stuff.
I don't know how you could do it without it.
Oh, you couldn't. Yeah.
That was one of the things, I was talking to my dad about it, because he likes the story of Frankenstein, but he does not like gross horror things at all. And he's like,
It
is
is
there,
really gross?
yes. Is there a lot of that? I'm like, well, kind of by necessity. I mean, you see him with a lot of body parts and a lot of blood as he's like sawing things and sewing things and putting everything together, but I kind of gloss over that because I just know that that's part of the process.
The corpse count is high.
Yes, very, very high.
Yeah.
All right, so unless you guys have anything else, we're
One more
losing.
quick thing,
Yep.
which is we talked about Oscar Isaac, but Jacob Elordi. I thought he did an amazing job.
He did.
I know he's been like the guy lately, but I don't think I've seen anything he's been in. I haven't seen the Priscilla movie. I haven't seen a couple of things that he's been well touted for, and I thought he did an amazing job. I thought he did a lot with so little.
Yeah, I did see Priscilla, and he was fantastic as not the Elvis we all know, but the Elvis that apparently did exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Mhm.
So, one of the things that I thought we would do is basically, because we're going to call this an honest review, which I think we've been very honest about this. Would you basically play Siskel and Ebert? Would you recommend this to somebody to watch? And if you do, are there caveats that you would put on that recommendation?
I would say yes, you should go see this unless you are squeamish, because if you're squeamish, there's a lot of stuff in there that that would not appeal to you, but otherwise I would give it a recommendation.
How about you?
I would definitely recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend it. I would tell people who are a very big fan of the books to go in with an open mind, because while it does adhere very much to the books, it is also different enough that if you're expecting a very faithful 100% adaptation like Brandes was, that was like spot on, then you're going to be disappointed. But I would definitely recommend it, particularly if you do like the story of Frankenstein. It is a well-told Frankenstein story of the creature and Frankenstein. Anyway, I would recommend it.
All right, that's 3 thumbs up. Excellent.
Anything else?
I'm good.
All right, there's our review of Frankenstein. See ya.
Bye.